Hi, I'm Henry.
Hi, Andrea.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
Alika, how are you?
I'm good.
Hey Alex, I'm Doug. Nice to meet you.
I'm a graphic designer and I work for a nonprofit. I have a little baby boy who's almost a year old.
I have two children and they're not babies. I have a 15-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old son.
I have a brother and a sister that I'm very close with, and my mother and father are still together. They've been together for 30 plus years.
I enjoy the beach and spending time with my 9-month-old puppy, Snoopy, who I love with all my heart.
I consider myself a community activist. I work with people with addiction issues, people that are homeless.
What I really like to do is draw comic books. I've been doing it since I was in middle school. My diagnosis is schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type.
Borderline personality disorder.
Bipolar disorder.
My diagnosis is major depressive disorder. I think I tell my story so I don't forget where I've been.
I want to be able to dispel those myths that's out there about mental health conditions.
Yeah. I'm an actual person and I have a voice and I have a story to share. I started having symptoms of depression and who am I existential questions since I was 15. And I used to say to myself, I'm having my midlife crisis at 15 years old.
There was about a 3-year period in my life where everything I did and said was sort of a product of the world of delusions that I was living in.
I would call out of work for days on end.
I didn't eat. I slept all the time.
For quite some time, I didn't even recognize my symptoms because hypomania can look organized to me. So I can get a lot done in a very little bit of time. It didn't become a problem until they noticed that I wasn't sleeping for days on end.
I hallucinated every single day, and then the anxiety sort of builds and builds and builds until it becomes kind of like a paranoia where, everything is sort of out to get you.
My way of dealing with it primarily was with drugs, and I know now that that's suicide on the installment plan.
I started self-harming more. My friends, when I was a junior, saw the scars and it was horrible. They judged me. They said that I was doing it for attention.
Some people said bipolar disorder, some people said ADHD, some people said PTSD, and none of them seemed to make sense for me.
It was a diagnosis that evolved over time, several different hospitalizations, several different diagnoses until one eventually stuck.
I was a special education teacher, so there were kids in my class that had ADHD or had bipolar disorder, and just listening to those teachers and how they talked about those kids, it didn't make me want to come out and share what I had just learned about myself.
I felt that I wouldn't be accepted and that all my work would be dismissed as, not credible because I had a mental illness.
After I lost my job, I became homeless. I committed minor crimes to feed my drug habit, lived on the streets, and finally, eventually was arrested and sent to state prison. That's the big turning point for me.